Good morning. Nice to see all of you. So we have a new section in the workbook that is called What is the Real World? So the next set of lessons will help us realize, maybe even experience glimpses of the real world.
What is the real world? The real world is a symbol, like the rest of what perception offers. Yet it stands for what is opposite to what you made. Your world is seen through eyes of fear and brings the witnesses of terror to your mind. The real world cannot be perceived except through eyes forgiveness blesses. So they see a world where terror is impossible, and witnesses to fear cannot be found.
The real world is the symbol that the dream of sin and guilt is over, and God's Son no longer sleeps. His waking eyes perceive the sure reflection of his Father's love. The real world signifies the end of time, where its perception makes time purposeless. Feels like a really nice place. And how beautiful that we hold the key to it. We hold the key to the door to the real world. And this key is our own forgiveness of everything that we thought was fearful or difficult, and everything we couldn't accept. That's what we need to forgive and so free our minds. So we're going to be helped too by the lesson of today. It's lesson 291. This is a day of stillness and of peace.
Father, guide your Son along the quiet path that leads to you. Let my forgiveness be complete, and let the memory of you return to me.
Beautiful. So we can let this really sink in. We ask him to be guided along the quiet path that leads us home to this deep peace of mind. Let my forgiveness be complete. Okay, so we can lift up whatever is still unforgiven. Once again, just take whatever this is. Invite Holy Spirit, invite God. God himself will wipe away all tears. God himself will help. And there is nothing we need to hold on to. Nothing in our unforgiveness made us safe anyway. We need to let it go. This is the way to this happy, real world. To really allow this moment, this quiet moment where you don't have to think about the past or the future. Just release whatever is still unforgiven. And we invite peace of mind. This is a day of stillness and of peace. Keep coming back to this moment. Releasing your thoughts. And invite peace. Really come to true peace. We may need to admit that we're not happy. The Holy Spirit needs a happy learner in whom his mission can be happily accomplished. That makes sense. The spirit of happiness, spirit of peace, needs our hearts to be happy and open for the mission of peace and happiness to be accomplished. Jesus urges us to see that because we have been steadfastly devoted to misery, you must first recognize that you're miserable and not happy, saying we have to admit this. The Holy Spirit cannot teach without this contrast, for you believe that misery is happiness. Oh my God, that is so sad. You believe that misery is happiness. So there is this calling to give up, give over everything we have learned ourselves, everything we've taught ourselves, to give that over to Spirit. That is the way to become a happy learner. And this is usually our thoughts. It is our thoughts. We need to give over our conclusions. Oh, beautiful. The invitation to be the happy learner, to be open to be wrong about what we taught ourselves. This is the happy learner from chapter 14, part 2. What truth is true, what else could ever be or ever was? This simple lesson holds the key to the dark door that you believe is locked forever. You made this door of nothing, and behind it is nothing. The key is only the light that shines away the shapes and forms and fears of nothing. Accept this key to freedom from the hands of Christ who gives it to you, that you may join him in the holy task of bringing light. For, like your brothers, you do not realize the light has come and freed you from the sleep of darkness. So I just feel these words are the light. You know, it's a way that the light comes to us. We can really let this in. So that we can open this dark door that has nothing, that is nothing and has nothing behind it. Another beautiful, helpful metaphor for our minds. We're bound to form, so he uses form for us to see. Talking about the dark doors and everything, we can see this and use it. Nothing needs to be hidden. Nothing is fearful. And we don't have to analyze the darkness. We don't have to understand what's going on with it. Just can invite the light to shine on it, shine it away. Definitely, we don't need to defend it. That's only hurt ourselves. Sure, it can seem scary to take steps out of our illusions. But it only seems that way because we believed in the illusions. We thought we were guilty. But once we allow ourselves to take the steps, this guilt and darkness will fall away. We need to realize that we're just releasing concepts. We're only releasing concepts, beliefs. And when we are called to change, for example, we're called to take a step. We're usually just called to release another concept, another role. We can feel that this change is something that happens within. This change of mind is your own power and your own responsibility to allow, just to allow for it, just to allow and accept that truth is true. No one can do it for you. But you can do it just by being willing to release your world, to give it over. We can open up for sharing, but let's be concise. If you have something that you feel strongly to lift up, you want to give some space for that. Okay, Jonas, what is the topic?
Well, it's my family. Yeah, and yeah, I visited them a couple of weeks ago, and then I just was very prayerful, and I was looking at my mind before I went there, and I don't want to teach them anymore. I don't want to come from this place where. And then when I went there, I was surprised. I didn't have anger anymore. I didn't have that righteous. But my brother, because I have changed, but he didn't know that. So he carried this perception, this story that I was a self-proclaimed healer who knows it all, right? So whenever I would address something, like if my mom, she criticized me in the morning, I said, well, are you aware that this is happening right now? And from a quite peaceful place. And he also looked at me like, wow, how did you do that? How did you just address it with no anger, right? And then also if I was speaking to a person and they was not listening, I just said are we speaking right now, or because, but then at some point my kind of peaceful directness triggered my brother a lot. And he obviously has a lot of anger towards me because because I've been shitty big brother. And it was nice that he had so much anger, and he told me afterwards his legs were shaking, and he was like, he has never felt so much anger, right? And in the beginning, I was almost like, you know what, I'm going away now. I don't want this. But then I just changed my mind in the moment there. I said, do you need a hug? And he didn't, but he could feel like, okay, it's welcome, right? And then I went for a walk afterwards, like, okay, I let it happen for a while. And then I said, okay, now I feel complete. Go for a walk now. And then when I came back, he came to me a little bit like almost crying. And then he said, if you still want to give me a hug, I would like a hug. You know, so it was beautiful.
It's beautiful. That's precious. That's powerful. You're able to hold space and just be present with whatever was going on.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that. It's a miracle story.
Yeah. And then in the rest of the meeting there with my family, and I don't know what happened for me, but after our expression there, I went to pray. And then it was like when I came back, I was paralyzed. I was getting into some kind of fight or flight or freeze. I was getting into the freeze mode. Like I made real what he had said in his expression. So, and then the next day when I drove home with my dad drove me to the train station, and suddenly, finally, I felt that the space was there for me to express a little bit. My mom is a nervous wreck. I cannot express in front of her. My brother had expressed, don't express. So I just said to my dad, like, I'm fucking tired and uninspired of your way of handling conflicts here. And, you know, it was an ego backlash. In a way, maybe. I don't know what it was, but because suddenly I was blaming them for not facilitating. And it basically ended up bringing me this feeling like, I'm not going to talk to them again. And this is how I've been feeling at work as well. Yeah.
I think, perhaps you felt finished there that day when you got into the freeze mode. But you had another day to spend, but actually you were already finished there. You had a beautiful, miraculous time. You probably could have left just then. Just to preserve your peace of mind, because you cannot really expect them to hold space for you.
Yeah. Okay. So you think that it can still be helpful that I see them again?
Yeah, I'm sure you will. Yeah. It's guided. It's guided.
And they don't want to, they have something with Vanessa right now. She told me she don't want to go there because they are not ready for mind training. And for me, it's really like, come on, if my wife don't want to see my family, why should I? Like, it's also so frustrating. And why can they not make peace with my wife? Why can they not just try to meet her or,
Yeah. You just need to find peace of mind, It's not about the form.
And I'm also angry at her for not, trying, because I feel like it is my family, however.
No. This is the specialness. When you defend certain people like that, that is my family, however, this is what you can work with in your mind. That defending a certain group of people, making them special, because you want peace of mind. And it is from your peace of mind that a peaceful perception of the world arises. And you're onto it, You had that beautiful couple of days with them first, where you were able to practice that and go back into prayer when needed, this is the only way, because you either project or extend. The mind can only do one of the two, either project or extend. And you're the only one that has the power to decide there what you do. And once you learn to just extend all the time, you know, you will just do, you can't even choose projection anymore because you don't want it, you know, that's how it goes.
And whenever you have a belief about how it should look, how much communication you should have with certain people, how many times, you know, how regularly you should see certain people, then, you know, you're not coming from authenticity. You're coming from an idea of what it should look like. I always remember the story that Jenny shared. I think it was you visiting David's parents, or
I did.
yeah.
Don't remember.
And you got there and David didn't even like see his mother or something like that. He just walks right into his room. It doesn't even say hello or anything, you know, like whatever rules there are around interactions, what's appropriate, what's not. You need to give all that over to spirit, because guidance is everything. And if you're coming from an expectation, then you're going to be in some sort of suffering.
Yeah, he may have said hi, but he went into prayer and rest in a room close to the one. And I prayed in the living room with his mom around and his sister and her husband. Yeah. It was good mind training to observe that. There was no specialness. There was no need to please anybody. God is no respecter of persons. That's pretty strong. That's a strong message. God is no respecter of persons.
Yeah.
Love is freedom, like your song say.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing, Jonas. For taking your steps so beautifully. Just
Thank
trust.
you.
Yeah. I love you.
Okay, we have Daniel next.
Hi.
Daniel.
So it's funny that Jonas talked about his brother, because yesterday evening my brother was here visiting me. I haven't seen him in a few months. And he was here to discuss with me some money I still owe him. And he never asked me for it anymore, but it came up for me that I wanted to settle this with him. So he was here, we had some dinner, we had some nice talks. And then the point came that we discussed this money. And then he has plenty of money, he has a few companies. And he said to me, it's not that I need the money, but I don't want to withhold you from this lesson of paying me this money back. And he had a whole story about me having to learn this lesson. And I was so angry inside, like, what are you doing? Like, telling me what lesson I have to learn here. You have all this money and I have not so much. And I'm not so sure how to like approach this whole.
Yeah, and I'm thinking of the movie Revolver. I think it is. There are those two Holy Spirit characters. They are like gangster leaders, but they are there in the movie. They are symbols of truth, and they say, "Give him what he asks for. Give him what he wants." You know, give the world what it asks for. Give, as long as it doesn't hurt anyone. You know, give Caesar that which is Caesar's. That's a biblical message.
Yeah.
You know, it works. Because the world of form isn't really ours. The world of form is the ego's. We are here to be light, to realize we are light.
Yeah, that really feels good. I had the same thought that I think I invited him in my house to teach me this lesson, and he literally said, I'm willing to teach you this lesson by letting you pay me this money back. So in a way, he spoke the truth. I think to me, like, it really is a lesson for me to just pay him the money back and don't think I have like a right to something, or he has more than me. There's a lot behind it as well. So yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah, the treasure is not of this world.
No. Luckily.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
More. You have everything when you choose peace of mind. When you choose extending rather than projection. When you choose spirit rather than ego. You have everything. But yeah, guidance is important. There is a guide. It's available. Anything else?
No, thank you.
And what's next? Matthew?
Hi.
Hi there.
I just felt the prompt just to express what I'm feeling. There's just some heaviness there. Well, actually wasn't even aware of it when I woke up, but it just sort of came in, and I think it's probably connected to the dreams I had last night. They were mostly about my family, and they're very chaotic dreams. I can't even begin to try and like explain the situations and the stuff that came up, but a lot of vivid images. Some of them are really like gross. So it felt like, I remember reading in Gary Reynard's book years ago, when you have dreams like that are very kind of disgusting images, it's something very deep in your unconscious coming up, and it's symbolized, in the dream. So, yeah, that's all I wanted to say, really. I just want to speak up this feeling. There is some heaviness here. Yeah, just want to be with it and not try and get rid of it either. And yeah, I just want to give myself the space to be with this today and allow this and whatever else is connected to it to come up.
Yeah, you don't have to analyze it. Yeah, what I read, simplicity is very difficult for twisted minds. Consider all the distortions you've made of nothing, all the strange forms and feelings and actions and reactions you've woven out of it. Nothing is so alien to you as the simple truth. So, it's, just to be open to just letting go of strange dream.
Like this one.
Yeah. Yeah. But with gentleness, because sometimes a dream can kind of bring your mind into something old, something dark. So this sounds good. To have a gentle day, the lesson, this is a day of stillness and of peace. It's a perfect day for the healing.
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Lucia and then Christian.
I don't really know exactly what to say, but I know that I just wanted to speak.
It's okay to not know what to say.
Pardon?
It's okay to not know what to say.
Yeah. It's just, it feels like unspecific emotion just all the time, just deep sadness and fear. But just really unspecific. And I try to look for specifics because I think, oh, maybe that will help. Like,
well, you're probably trying to find safety, you know, because the emotions are very, maybe dark, maybe deep.
yeah, I think it's a big feeling of loss.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wake up with this fear, like, that my whole world is just disappearing. And I know my heart, like, is going somewhere really great. It's like, I can feel that.
Yeah.
But I can't let it go. Like, I feel this pain, like I'm gonna lose my mom and my dad, who are just so sweet to me all the time. And it's like, I don't know, there's some feeling of like I'm leaving people behind.
Yeah, it is this belief in sacrifice, maybe, you know, that Jesus describes in the development of trust. How you're ready, your mind is ready to let go, but there's still a confusion there, like you trying to hold on. And it is, you know, this song that David always quotes, you have been looking for love in all the wrong faces and in all the wrong places, you know, and you're discovering that love was never in the faces.
Yeah.
And you know that. This is what you know now, but it feels like maybe like banging your head against the wall because you try still, because it used to be family, it used to be an experience of maybe connection or something. It was something familiar, something that you know. But when you have taken certain steps, it's no longer there. So it is, you're ready, and it's better to accept it rather than trying so hard.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm trying so hard to go back again.
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know why. Yeah, so be guided.
Yeah. And I get confused because in the course it says trust not your own good intentions, they're not good enough or something.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel like arrested with that, like I'm stopping myself in moments of where I want to express love and I want to express my giving, but I stop myself because I feel like, oh, it's that from the course, like trust not your own good intention. And maybe I'm just thinking about it too much, but
Yeah, maybe you're not allowing spontaneity because of that.
yeah, I think I've taken that rule and just been really hard with it or something. Like,
Yeah, trust not your good intentions, they're not enough, but trust implicitly your willingness, whatever else may enter. Concentrate only on this. Be not disturbed that shadows surround it. This is why you came. If you could come without them, you would not need the holy instant. So yeah, I think sometimes the ego uses something you read in the course to shut you down or something. But I don't think this means don't express love. I think, you know.
Yeah, I think I don't know where with my family. My uncle he's got schizophrenia and he's in a hospital, and I've been asked to go and see him, and I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know if that feels guided, if it feels like something that I do feel to do.
You feel inspired by the thought of going to see him?
I do in this moment feel inspired, yeah, to see him.
Yeah, do it for extending, do it for practicing staying connected with spirit, being guided.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
And hand over the people, hand over the bodies, and then spirit easily flows through you. It's a little different story, but another experience that David has shared about. There was a man who was on his deathbed, and he was a Course in Miracles student. And someone called on David to go visit him, and he did. And David just let Spirit speak through him to this man who had not been speaking for weeks. He'd been laying just half dead, basically, not speaking at all. And David was just letting Spirit pour through. And everybody in the room, the family to this dying person, and everybody were saying, stop him. This is not good for our dad or whoever is laying there. You have to leave. The dying man raises his arm. Let the man speak. His mind opening to life, And everybody was, so yeah, so the world may not accept us, but that's okay. We know where life is. Life is of spirit.
Yeah, I feel whenever I kind of go into a situation like that, like I make a prayer, like I'm here to be only truly helpful. I'm here to that prayer, but then I get in there, and then my mind goes to, oh, should I say this? Should I say that? Like, should you do that? I shouldn't have said that. Even like, oh, David wouldn't have done that, or something like that. Like, start comparing myself, and I can't seem to just like kind of trust it that I've said the prayer and then let what happens happen.
Yeah, it's still self-doubt, micromanaging so I think just be very forgiving with yourself. You can't go wrong. Your intention is very pure, your intention is to follow the guidance, and then be a bit allowing with yourself. The ego is very harsh, the ego can like micromanage and analyze. You use the right words, second guessing, doubting, But spirit is more relaxing, more open, more allowing. Enjoy the visit. Love you.
Love you.
Okay, Christian.
Hello.
Hello.
Family members who spoke before me, they told much of what I felt. I can rely on, I can relate to, yes. But what, as you spoke about, or you read about the happy learner, it came to my mind that I'm not a happy learner. I'm a fearful learner. And there came such a desire for happy learning, and leave this fearful thing to do it right, or to do it by my own, or to always be confronted with if I'm not such and such. And there's a lot of judging and something, it's coming up. Yes, many things comes up with. And then the feeling came up, like Lucia just told, that I had the feeling I have to leave my whole world, you know. My whole world is, I have to get rid of this whole thinking world, this whole thing I'm attached to. It was.
You know, right as you said that, Christian, this fly landed right on my nose. It was like, it's right on the nose.
That is right on the nose.
Yeah.
You do have to give up the world you made.
Yeah.
You will feel, once you do it, now it comes on me. You didn't give up anything. That's going to be your experience. And something comes to mind that he says too, that it is like giving up the littlest thing.
Smaller than a fly.
Right on the nose again. You know that expression in English. That means right on.
Yeah. It's not only no, it's not only a dark feeling, but it's so, sometimes it comes so near this decision point, this point between let it go and you and behind it there's a light, there's much love. It's coming. I think it comes. It's triggered by love. This feeling of fear and have to let it. It's behind it. It's like a push.
Yeah, it's love inspiring you to let it go. Yeah. So it's safe. Therefore, it's safe.
I have to go. Yes, I would go with that. Yeah. And I have sometimes I have the feeling also, what Daniel shared was, I have the same thing. I don't want to go into stories, but with my brother, so with owning money, and he has a lot of money, and so and I know this feeling to feel guilty for that, even if he helped me a lot.
Well, you know, Jesus says ownership is a dangerous concept. Ownership is a dangerous concept if it's left to your mind. So the ownership idea is in your belief. So you believe that he's the owner.
Yes.
But imagine everything in time and space is the Holy Spirit's. Absolutely everything. And it needs to be given over to the Holy Spirit for you to know what to do with it. So every time you have this guilty thought, and maybe you've had it for a long time, you need to question, is that true? Is that what the Holy Spirit is saying to you? And so to really take it to the core, because otherwise the ego is using it to bombard you.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yes, Jenny, that's good. It's much guilt inside. Not only with that, it was only the triggering for this much more guilt for many things in my mind. I'm not okay at all with myself, with this lot of turmoil, and I'm always on the kind of edge. I think I'm walking.
You know what he says at the end of the Happy Learner? He's saying that God is everywhere, and his Son is in him with everything. Can he sing the dirge of sorrow when this is true? Can he sing the dirge of sorrow? Like
what is dirge? What?
Funeral song?
Sad song, yeah.
Like a funeral song. Like death. He sings the dirge of sorrow when this is true. That God is everywhere. His Son is in him with everything.
No problem at all.
No, there is no problem. And you don't have to think, to kind of beat yourself up with those thoughts.
Yeah. It's crazy to draw it always to this point of feeling ego. I draw that. I feel this as if I'm drawing it. So don't release it. You know what I mean?
I'm going to play a song for you. Jen Johnson, Come to Me. Very, very devoted, devotional. I'm your everything. It's what God sings to you. Come to me.
How long you need.
You yeah. I can feel that if I'm with you. That's what you're transporting for me. This trust in that. It's not always easy, but it's good. Thank you.
Good to join with you, Chris. Okay, is anyone else sitting with something you'd like to share? Time.
Just a little super short one because I'm off. I just wanted to say that it was so powerful today when you read and guided us like that. I went through a lot of stuff. And I also want to say that when I admitted, even though it felt like really shitty and really terrible to have to do it, when I admitted that I wasn't happy a week ago or something, it shifted. I mean, a lot shifted when I did that.
That's beautiful.
And that was also what the lesson was about today. You know, I even heard myself walking around, love my life. It's like, ooh, nothing changed, or still everything sort of the same outside, but in here, you know, I felt more whole, and also by bringing up that I did have something, you know, I hadn't completely forgiven my ex-husband, and also the fact that and that came up the next session when we spoke about forgiveness. It came up that I don't forgive myself, you know, I'm not a happy learner. I bring on this big hammer and go, I'm not going to say it how it sounds. It sounds bad in my head. I accuse myself. I don't just take it as, you know, when I hear other people share, I can go, well, you know, we're unhappy because we're in this messy place, and it's a good thing we're unhappy because it's not supposed to be like that. But when I do it, oh no, I'm supposed to be somewhere else. Mm. So I'm hard on myself, and I saw that today too again, you know. Mm. I want to be a happy learner.
Yes, I'm glad. And let's
take like a happy learner. Today I feel like a happy learner.
Beautiful.
I love this way of learning from life, and I really love it. And I love you guys too.
Yeah.
Bye. I gotta go now, so I'm turning everything off.
Okay. Bye-bye. Beautiful. So even if the session goes towards an end, we just know there are no endings. Love never ends. Life stream flows, like he was singing. Oh yeah, he was saying whatever in the perceptual world is, it hides the one. It hides the one. The stream of life in the world seems to hide the one. It's only a thin veil, and we don't have to stand behind the veil anymore. Just follow your heart. Deep love to you all. Have a great guided day. Stillness and peace.